Let's talk football then. Cristiano Ronaldo was an unused substitute for Manchester United in a heavy defeat against rival City in the derby last Sunday. Old Trafford legend and Sky Sports pundit Roy Keane believes that Manchester United are showing disrespect to Ronaldo. Keane thinks you need options, but you don't hold on to Ronaldo to sit on the bench. He's one of the greatest players ever, and they should have let Ronaldo leave in the summer. Well, in midweek, the United manager, Erik ten Hag, explained why he didn't play the Portuguese star against City.
You line up the strongest team you have, don't get me wrong, but there are differences. No one is the same in a team, actually, and also the treatment will treat everyone with respect, but they have all different backgrounds, and also from character they are different. So also I have to treat players different to get the best out of them, but there are certain general, let's say, values and standards, what counts for everyone.
Okay, so that's what Erik ten Hag had to say, defending his decision to not play Ronaldo against Manchester City. Where do you stand on this one then, Cass? Is Erik ten Hag in this moment in time with how he's dealing with Cristiano Ronaldo, or should he be showing him more respect, like Roy Keane is suggesting?
Yeah, I'm in the camp of Keane.
Yeah?
Personally, I always feel that sometimes with players, they're so big at a football club that if you're not going to play them, just let them go elsewhere. I think you have to do that. I mean, look, Bayern Munich did it with Lewandowski in the end, and he wanted to go. And what did they do? They ended up letting him go to Barcelona. Roy Keane himself left Manchester United. The moment he became a problem or not was going to be used by Fergie, he was out the door and gone.
But do we know it as fact that they couldn't get him out, that they wanted to keep hold? I mean, maybe there was no one that wanted Cristiano Ronaldo.
I wouldn't believe that. There will be someone. Lionel Messi had the same scenario at Barcelona. He wanted to leave Barcelona after a long period of service. He was such a big name at that football club that they ended up going, OK, the move to PSG can happen. And yes, PSG put a lot of money forward. I personally believe, why would you keep someone that's 37 years old? Yes, he's not quite as good a player as he once was, but you're not going to utilise him, use him very often. And he looks like a player that's going to play no part. I watched him in midweek. He didn't particularly play well. And it feels like he also had trauma in the summer. We all know he had a personal trauma. And I just felt, just cut your ties. You're freeing up wages to go and bring in somebody else. Ronaldo's on a lot of money and he wanted to leave. And I'm sure that he would not be thinking about just money. I just thought it was wrong to keep him.
But you kind of said it yourself. Why would you keep him? And I can only think the only reason you're keeping him is because you can't get him out. We never heard of any real links with any other club. There was no one that seemed... Yes, there was a suggestion of Chelsea perhaps, but nothing really came of it.
Well, it is very hard because from... The other side of the coin is that sometimes clubs cannot be totally honest that no one's come in.
Of course.
Maybe they don't want to let him go to a rival. If it was Chelsea, that they'd see that as a problem. OK, that's fair enough. But there would have been a taker for Ronaldo, without a doubt. OK, he might have had to have left on reduced terms from Manchester United. But I'm sure he would have known that he'd have to give something back if he was going to leave the football club, as in reduce wages to a club that he could go to. I don't believe for a moment that no one would have taken Cristiano Ronaldo.
I think in some ways you have to respect Erik ten Hag, because sometimes you might feel, I have to play Cristiano Ronaldo because it's Cristiano Ronaldo. But he's decided for whatever reason, he's not his first choice. He's spoken about, he was asked about the fact, what contribution does he see Ronaldo making this season? He says, everyone knows what you expect from strikers. First, production. And second, in football, it's 11. Nowadays in football, it's 11 defend, 11 attack. So everyone has to contribute. So in a way, it's suggesting that he wasn't...
He ain't playing that. He's Harry Maguire. He's not going to play in Man United's first 11. Is that enough for Ronaldo? Absolutely no chance. He's 37 years old. You don't want to be a bit part player. You want to be playing as often as you can. You've got a World Cup in front of you in November. He is not going to be, I guarantee this weekend, apart from injuries, Ronaldo will not be in the starting 11. So now you're losing the fitness, because you do lose match fitness by not playing and sitting on benches. You can train as hard as you like. And boy, we all know he trains as hard as anybody. But he doesn't look... I know he's 37, but he doesn't look like the Ronaldo even of last season.
So,
for
but
Man
yeah,
United.
so if you put it that way, then if he was to have been brought on against, and I know you could argue maybe he should have started against City, but if he'd been brought on against City, maybe he wouldn't have had any impact, or not the bigger impact that they would have wanted, and therefore maybe Erik ten Hag is saving Cristiano Ronaldo from that embarrassment, perhaps.
Well, okay. Look.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Brendan
of course.
Rodgers dropped Steven Gerrard against Real Madrid. That was basically the end of the days of Steven Gerrard playing for Liverpool. Okay? And what happened? He left not long after. Okay? Because he was such a great player for Liverpool that he ended up being maybe the future's elsewhere for you, whatever capacity, whether as a footballer or as a coach. And I'm not for clubs just laying a marker down over a player of such stature as Ronaldo. He's done way more than any other player. Well, say any other, apart from Lionel Messi. Him and Messi have been the Tiger Woods of football, the last 20 years. I don't believe there's any good. This can only end, as Roy Keane said, badly.
In a word, will he be gone by January then, Ronaldo?
I hope for him and for Man United. I think Man United need to move on now. They've made their marker. They've put their sort of line in. They've made their line in the sand moment with Ronaldo that he's not going to be playing on a regular basis. So, in a word, no. Yes, I think it'd be the right thing to do. Whether United do that, I'm not so sure.